Hey team, welcome to your cool down of the week. We've got 5 stretches for you to help you recover from all of your training. We're going to spend about a minute in each pose, but if you feel like you want more, go for that. And then as you get more comfortable with this sequence, please feel free to play around with the order, staying in the pose longer on one side or the other, so you have a little more freedom. So we're going to start seated into a straddle. So let's have those legs go out wide, and I would sit back off the mat if you're on one so that your heels can be on there. It's a little more comfortable. Okay. Your legs are wide enough with those toes up that you can also sit up. So if you are kind of really rounding and your feet are wide, just bring those legs in a little bit so that we can sit up really tall. Okay. And on an inhale, we just breathe in. And on your exhale, you're going to walk the hands forward, and we're just going to hang out in this fold. And as things start to loosen up, you can kind of deepen the position by dropping the chest more down, or you can reach the hands out more in front. Last little bit here. All right, next inhale, we walk the hands back, come up to a seat, and then we're going to come on our shins for child's pose side stretch. So just kind of flipping on over. You'll bring your toes together, knees will go apart, and then you'll sit down towards your heels. Okay. From here, we're going to walk the hands out in front, okay, and then walking them over to the right side. Okay, so you're reaching a little bit more through that left hand. You're pressing the palms down for a little traction as you pull back on that left hip. And you're feeling that big stretch from the armpit down into that lower back. And feel free to move around in this position, kind of peeking under the armpit, rolling the left ribs down. Just trying to get into all those little spaces. And then from here, walking the hands through center. And let's go over to the other side. We're going to reach, pressing the palms down, and then drawing that right hip back towards the heel to create the traction to really open up through the side body. And then again, playing around with moving, see how that changes the position of the stretch, how that loosens things up. Good. And then walking the hands through center and then coming to your shins. Okay. Next up, we've got pigeon. So we're starting on our hands and knees, okay, and then we'll go into the pigeon stretch from there. So from this position, right knee is just going to go to the right wrist, and then the other leg will scoot back. And then from here, you can stay on the hands if you feel this is intense enough, or you can drop to the forearms. If you see I have a bit of space between the mat and my hip, I might opt to put a block there, or if I just want to ease into this, I might roll to the outer hip and give myself a little bit more of a passive pigeon stretch. So depending on which one you need, we're going to stay here for a few cycles of breath. All right, we're going to slowly peel ourselves out of that. And like I said, as you get more comfortable with the sequence, please feel free to stay in these positions longer. We're going to reset with the hands and knees, and we go second side. So now left knee to the left wrist, and then we'll start walking the right leg back. Again, we stay here or we drop down. You might notice one side is a little tighter than the other, and that's okay. It's very normal. Just position yourself how you need to. Like this side is feeling the same as the right side for me, so I'm going to opt for that more relaxed pigeon position where I roll to the outer hip. Okay. So whichever one that you like for today, and then just try to relax the shoulders, reduce the tension in the jaw, and find that smooth breath. Couple more cycles. Good. All right, we're going to just slowly peel ourselves out of that. Back to that hands and knees position. Okay, just a little reset. And then we're actually going to come to a standing position. And if you're at home, you might want to find a door jamb. If you're at the gym, a rig post will work great. And we're going to go into a little bit of a calf stretch. Okay, so you're going to want your heel on the floor, your toe on the rack or the wall. And then from here, we just push the hips forward. And by pushing a little bit of weight into the big toe or over into the pinky toe, you got to change where that stretch in the calf is most intense. And so playing around with the pressure in the toes to figure out where the stretch is most needed. All right, and we'll go ahead and reset the other side. So heel on the floor, toe, and then pushing the hips forward. Good. All right. Let me just go ahead and release that. And then final thing, we're going to go back onto the floor for scorpion. Okay, so it's going to stretch out the front of the chest. We're going to lay all the way on the belly, so all the way down. Okay, and we're going to extend our right arm out and start with a straight arm. You might find that angling your arm up instead of in line with the shoulder is helpful, or with a little bend of the arm. So that's going to be up to you and kind of where you feel the stretch is most helpful. But first, let's start with the arms straight out, and then we're just going to roll to the outer right hip. See if we can get that good stretch through the biceps, through the front of the shoulder. Like for me today, and where my flexibility is at, I need a little bend in my elbow, and I need to angle my arm up just a bit. Okay, so play around with that for you. Good. All right, coming to the belly. Let's go to the other side. Straight arm to start, and then you roll to the outer hip. And then again, playing around with the angle. So for me, I'm going to have to go back to that slightly bent arm with that elbow just above the shoulder. And there I get the stretch that I'm looking for. Good. And go ahead and release that. All right, team, you guys are all set. I will see you next week, and happy stretching.